going to start up the draft. And this week's draft, Cal, was what again?
Guys not to take hunting.
Oof. And so what we're going to do is we're going to pick 3 people each. Gavin already fired up about it. When we explained to him what the draft was, he goes, "Oh, the guy's late." You know, so obviously very upset with me.
At least you own it. Thank you. Finally. Finally.
But, you know, so we're going to go through and pick our 3 people not to bring hunting. Okay? Gavin, what's that? One at a time?
Yeah, we're
Gavin,
each
why don't you give us your first?
So, Gavin, you draft one guy.
The guy that's always late drives me insane.
Saw that coming.
If I said this to Joey the other day, if you want to know the quickest way for me never to invite you hunting again, don't show up. Don't show up on time when I tell you to be there. I will not call you again unless I really, really like you. Hi. And then for some reason, you know the best part of this? We're going to do a little story, a little tangent. Your ass showed up late to the first hunt I ever invited you to.
I didn't know you.
And we mangled that day.
And what did I say when I was late?
My bad.
That is not what I said.
I believe it's the same thing you always tell me. It's no different than the day we had to walk gear in and you were late and you walked by me, you're like, "I brought donuts. Sorry." I'm like, "Go get the gear out of the trailer." And I just walked by because I was so irritated. Sorry.
That is not what I said.
What did you say?
Yeah, tell me. I don't know.
I said, "Hey, man, I'm sorry for being late. I'll make it up to you." That's what I said.
You've been late every hunt since.
That's like, no, that's kind of like my bad. That's kind of like my bad.
I've not been hunt every late. I've not been late.
No, he said he would make it up to you, dude.
When do we start making it up?
What do you mean? He gives you his friendship all the time.
I didn't say that. Like my friendship is worth something.
Not that. Not being late every hunt.
I honestly thought I was still doing the great debate.
Cal, do you remember when we had to meet him at Storman's for Tesmer's hunt?
Oh, yeah.
And I pull up with a trailer, waiting on Joey. Cal pulls up and goes, "Heard from Joey?" And I go, "Nope." And I'm sitting there, and Cal goes, 100% he's still asleep. I go, "There's no way. This is literally his hunt, his field. He set the time." Cal calls Joey. Joey answers, "Rawr." I'm late. Shows up to a hunt where we all know it's going to rain. You know what he's not have? He doesn't have? Bibs.
He wore jeans.
Bibs and boots.
He wore jeans.
Shows up,
and he's
no
like around
bibs,
the corner.
no boobs, and no boots.
Yeah, I didn't have boobs.
No bibs, no boobs.
Cal's got enough boobs for both of us. So
all right.
I didn't need any.
That's true.
And he literally lives 5 minutes down the road. It's his hunt. He could have set the time.
Yeah.
He's still late.
It's all right.
Drives me nuts.
But did we have fun?
We had a blast. We went and got breakfast that morning.
We didn't shoot anything.
We shot.
Later in the day we did.
I say we shot
breakfast.
6 mallards total that day
breakfast.
for the longest hunt of my
No, we
life.
shot geese that day.
I don't have any photos of geese, did we?
We shot geese that day. It was us 3 and Riley.
Oh, we shot a couple.
That's one Connor and David.
Cal wasn't there for that.
Connor and David. No, he was.
Oh,
He was. It was the 4. It was
we
the 5.
shot
Yeah, it
ducks
was.
after he left.
Oh, that's right.
we
You had
shot
to
geese
go.
before. We
You had
shot
to-
geese before I left.
You're
though.
right. Because
And
you
then we
made
shot
that
ducks,
really good
yeah.
shot on the one coming up and over. I remember this. Now you're right. I only have photos of the mallards though.
Same.
Yeah, right. Only take photos of what matters.
Yeah,
Ducks only.
I have you 3, like, kind of crouched over the mallards.
Because I'm so wet. My pants were soaked to my underwear. I was so miserable.
Yeah. No, we hung out in the trailer for about an hour.
We got breakfast at that place on 55.
Yep.
Oh, Peggy's?
Peggy's. Walked
right.
in. Oh.
Joey.
All right, Joey, here.
Draft.
Dude, probably the person I'm not bringing to the hunt is the guy who is just whining the entire time.
Big complainer guy.
Something is wrong with everything you're doing. And what I mean by that, Gavin.
What? What do I complain
You've been
about?
guilty of this a couple of times. Where it's like,
Oh,
I
when
wouldn't
you-
have done this.
when you
I
got a
wouldn't have
shit
done
show
that.
going,
I would
100%.
have done this instead.
Yeah.
I would have
I've
done that.
I've done that.
You know what?
Yeah, you're right.
I'm not bringing that guy.
That's fine.
Because it's like, you know what, dude? If you can't sit back and allow someone else to run it, then...
Oh, hold on.
No, I'm just saying...
All right, you're really elaborating, though. You're kind of like starting into like multiple people.
Sure. So let me
The
just think
complainer.
Just the whiner, the guy who is like, oh, well, you should have done this and you should have done that. Well, we could have killed more if we did that. I'm not going to invite that guy again.
Disclaimer here really quick.
I'm not talking about you.
Yeah, I know, but you started with me, so we're going to disclaimer this. Joey's bringing this up because I bitched at him because he talked me out of a hide that then we lost a few birds and made it hard for us to hide the other way. That's why he's bringing this up.
Actually, that was not why I was bringing that up. But
well, if you ran the hunt, I've never complained about shooting birds or anything because we've been on plenty of busts and I never said a word to you.
Sure. No, and I've not shot a lot of birds with you as well.
Yeah.
And that's okay. But am I going like this? Well, we could have. Well, maybe if we did this.
If I missed the shot call, you do remind me.
Because you started that shit.
I did. All right, Cal, you go.
All right, mine is far less serious than your guys'. So,
it wasn't meant to be that serious.
Mine is my number one guy not to take hunting is guy who's having rumblings of bowel issues before the hunt.
Ooh, gas station sushi.
Yeah, you know when you're on your way to the hunt with a dude and he's just farting too much already? And you're like, dude, you're going to have to use my dude wipes twice today, aren't you?
Yeah.
Everyone laughs when I carry a fucking whole thing of TP for a reason. I've been that guy.
Dude wipes.
No, I'll never laugh at you. Because I'm going to take that.
Yeah, I was going to say.
You're taking it.
Yeah.
Joey's looking at me
Joey's the guy using my dude, by the way.
Joey's looked at me a few times and been like, hey, man, you got TP in there? Yeah, brother, I got you. Thanks, man. I don't know. Something ain't sitting right. Runs off. Yeah, but I've been there. I made the mistake one time in hunting Alexandria with Bartle. I bought gas station sushi at Holiday.
Oh, my God. In the morning?
Holy shit. You did not.
Morning?
Yep.
Oh, my God.
I drove up after having a couple beers.
You're insane.
And for whatever reason, I got there at 3:30 in the morning. I was like, God, sushi sounds good. And I grabbed it out of a Holiday gas station at Alexandria. I ate all of it. I paid for my decisions.
As you should.
Yep.
As you should.
It's like the Quick Trip Chiquitos or whatever.
That's up. You deserve that.
Oh, I did. I don't
you
disagree.
Deserve that, bro.
No, you see anything on that roller before sunlight, you don't eat that, dude. You don't eat that. Someone put that on before he...
Tornadoes are fine.
Dude, tornadoes?
Someone put that on...
Those are the worst.
Someone put that on 18 minutes ago, or someone put that on at 9 p.m., and here you are eating it at 4 a.m.
Yeah, if it's at 4 a.m., yeah, it's bad.
It's not good, dude. Yeah.
Always go with the Glazers. Glazers, simple donuts.
Yeah.
You're a donut guy. Who's second?
Yeah, your second draft pick.
The guy that has a bad dog but keeps wanting to bring it.
Ooh,
and he knows deep down he's got a bad dog. Just leave it at home, man.
That's bad.
Do me the favor.
Yeah.
What's your go-to line for telling that person not to bring his dog? Or do you not?
I have pretty much well established that if I'm hunting, it's my dog. Mm. Everybody knows too. Nobody really asks. I've had a couple buddies be like, "Hey man, can we?" I'm like, "Nope." And I always put it on chance. I'm like, "Oh, dude, he gets weird. He'll probably dog up. He's not friendly. Sorry." And they're like, "Oh, yeah, I don't want that. Yeah, you're right. Okay." Sorry to all my friends that I've lied to.
Oh my God.
But I've also let people bring out a dog if I want to rest the dog and you want to fix a problem. I'm all about helping a guy through it. But you have to be willing to put the work in. If you're not willing to put the work in, and I know that, don't waste my time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go, Joe.
Oh, is my number two?
Yeah, you're number two.
Come back to me. I just lost it.
All right. My number two is the guy that really wants to go hunting, but they're not a guy's guy. They can't bullshit. They can't take a joke. They don't know how to have fun. And if you make fun of them or your friends, much worse, your friends make fun of them because they will.
Have you ran into that a lot?
A couple times, yeah.
Really?
You bring out guys who are just a little bit socially, they don't take a joke super well. And then I take them out with Joey and Gavin. And then they're like, holy shit. That guy feels like shit.
That was a bad experience.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you just have to... Guy who can't bullshit, that's a tough guy to take hunting.
Damn,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I censor those people out pretty quick because I give a ton of shit.
Me too.
But honestly...
That's why I asked.
I have brought a couple guys with where I'm like, hey, man, whatever Joey says, just take it on the chin. Because, no, dude, you and I get going, and I've noticed this. When it's you and me together, dude, we get chirping. And we get chirping each other, though. Mm-hmm. And if you didn't know the relationship Joey and I have, and you got in there, you'd be like, are you two going to go to fish?
Well, I
and
think that's true.
No.
That's true for all three of us.
For
sure for me and Joey. But,
Cal and I've gotten into it in the blind a couple of times.
A lot of the time, it happens when it's your buddy's hunt, and you get invited, and it's his buddy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it may not be that you're, bringing him, but like the guy that guy shouldn't have take hunting is the guy that I made fun of, and now he feels bad.
So this year, one of the meadow hunts, I was like, hey, Gavin's like, you should come out to the meadow. I was like, I'm taking these guys out to the pontoon blind, and he's like, just bring them. I was like, dude, they've never hunted before, and he's like, oh, that's fine, just bring them. And I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know. And then I called Tony, and I was like, dude, here's the deal. We are absolutely going to mash birds way more than we would at the pontoon blind, but just let me know. I'm just letting you know. Gavin's a really good buddy of mine. He's going to talk a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And, like, he might give you shit. He might give your buddy shit. I don't know. But just, it's all in good fun. Like, I literally had the phone call with him, and then they met me here at the house, and then we went to your place, and on the way there, I was like, okay, here's what we should expect, I
am 100% the friend that you have to give a disclaimer about. 100%. I bust balls the moment you show up.
Well, it's just blind talk. I mean, it's just normal. Like you shit talk each other, you have fun. And especially, too, like, a lot of the time, a buddy of ours will invite Joey and I both. Then Joey and I will go on the hunt. They've got their buddy or two there, and those guys can't bullshit. Well, me and Joey get going at it pretty good. And then sometimes people don't know if it's serious. Then they might say something like it's funny, and then me or Joey will make a joke at them, and then it's just silent because they think we're being serious, and now it's awkward.
It gets weird.
Do you remember? Joey wasn't there for this. Do you remember when me, Matt and Mulder went hunting? We had to flip my trailer. Was Ricky with for that? I think Ricky.
Yeah, it was me and Ricky lifting it.
Yeah, well,
and
Ricky
Jake.
put it on his knees.
Yeah.
Jake's a horse.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Like, I had never met Ricky and Jake. We get my trailer buried. So I'm already in like a half foul mood, and I'm already just kind of irritated with myself.
Yeah.
And I said something just off the cuff at Cal, kind of being a dick. And Jake goes, hey, man, this trailer's literally sitting on my legs. Do you mind? And I was like, oh, bro, my bad. Like, I was just busting balls. And Jake's like, I couldn't tell. I'm sorry. But it was funny because in the moment I was just like, I was kind of angry, but I just chirped Cal, and Jake wasn't having it because my trailer's literally shitting on Jake's thighs as he's in the mud holding it, and me, Cal, Ricky, and my buddy Matt are just pulling it. And
was that the first time you met Jake?
It was the first time I'd ever met Jake. 4 o'clock in the morning.
Like, hey, you mind?
Yeah, like and if you know, Joey knows Jake. Jake's not a small kid back then.
Still, he's gotten
he's
more
jacked.
muscle.
Yeah, but he was like
more muscle.
He was like 230 and 6'3".
Yeah,
I was like, oh, dude, I was just busting balls. My bad. He goes, it's fine, but can we get this trailer out? I was like, yeah, I agree.
Right. Okay, my second is I'm not going to invite the guys who have to kill a limit. Who have to kill a limit, because I can't tell you how many times where a lot of the spots that I have really good relationships with these farmers. And so there's this weird sentimental value where I've helped them out on the farm. I've done construction for cheap or for nothing. And so it's fun for me to go and hunt at these places. And so when I invite people out who need to shoot a limit, and they're really bummed and pouty that birds didn't work well, or we didn't kill more out of that flock or whatever, it's just I hate that mentality of we have to kill our limit, because that's not the purpose of us going out. I can have fun shooting one bird as long as it just decoyed, dick out, feet hanging, and then what's his face on the corner just shot before anyone else did, because he's never shot a bird. He didn't know about the shot call thing, and it's that's still fun for me. One
of the funnest hunts I've ever been on is the one on the wall in the far right.
Oh, the globe hunt?
Yeah, the globe hunt. Joey and I always refer to it as the globe hunt, because the night before, Joey's like, where do you want to go? And I was like, I don't know, man. Let's take the boat out.
We had nothing.
We didn't have options. And Joey's like, we had joked because we have I'll call him a friend / older mentor gentleman who was like, boys, I used to just drop a dart on the mat and hunt a lake and say, fuck it. So I looked at Joey, I was like, do we just drop a dart and roll it? And Joey's like, we're globing it. And literally we picked a lake at random. Found out way too deep for the gear we brought. Complete shit show. We shot 2 birds. The funnest time laughing, though, and just having a riot.
That hunt?
No, far right.
No, the one with Jake.
The one with Jake.
And me?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know if Cal knew that we had no idea.
We just picked a random lake near Alexandria.
Yep.
And we showed up, And like one of the funniest parts of that hunt is we worked this mallard coming in, and this thing was just dangling in front of us. And Jake has not shot a lot of birds, and so I'm like, I want to center this thing up right in front of Jake. So I'm calling. Gavin's like, what are we doing? I was like, don't worry about it. So we keep going, and it gets right in front of Jake, and I was like, perfect. I go, Kit. And Gavin just destroys this thing. It's at like 8 feet, like 8 yards. This thing is so
remember
close.
this vividly.
It's so close. I was like, what are you doing? Gavin's like, I was sick of waiting for this thing, dude. What the f***? We should have shot that
I
thing.
have been on this bird, shouldered gun for like 2 minutes. And I'm like, can we just kill it? Because it would start to land and then flutter out to the right. And Joey's just like, no, wait. I'm like, Joe, I'm on it. And literally,
There's babies upstairs.
I'm
bro.
sorry.
Oh,
Don't
my
watch
God.
Your attitude, bro.
My bad. I did steamroll that mallard, though.
Dude, Gavin, the second the touched my back of my throat, that dude was like, boom. But
Gavin's
yeah,
known for that.
that
All
was so much fun. We literally were on a map, and we're just like, that one.
That one.
Didn't know where the boat landing was. Had to figure it out in the morning. Ridiculous. We still have one more, Cal.
Dude, we're at like an hour and 15 minutes.
That's good. We have to cut 5 minutes out of it regardless. Actually, more with the beginning. Don't play. Forget about it. What's your third guy you're not bringing hunting?
The guy who's always on social media during the hunt. I don't like the guy that's always checking Snapchat, Facebook.
Comparing your hunt to their hunt?
I would even say the comparison, but being like, oh, dude, somebody shot a band today. Somebody shot some other birds. Like, in Canada, they're mopping them. Like, dude, be present. Enjoy the time. Like, some of my favorite hunts in the last 3 years have been 1, 2, 3, 4 bird days. And they've been a blast. Some of them have also been bangers, but there's been some hunts where, like, it was just fun to go out.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I get sentimental more about it now that I'm getting older.
You're on your soapbox for sure.
What?
Remember how I was saying I was on my soapbox with all of our TikTok reels and whatever?
Oh, yeah.
That's
Oh.
Now you're on your soapbox.
Yeah, you're like, I don't like guys who don't use their phone. Just kidding.
But that's his opinion, Cal.
But also,
What's your opinion?
you go second. You keep running through. It's back to you again. I'm ready though. If you're not.
Guy I'm not bringing hunting. The
Yeah.
third guy I'm not bringing hunting. The guy who constantly wants to change the spread. When you have birds that don't work,
Super annoying.
when you have birds that don't work, and then the first thing that happens, like, why didn't that work? Oh, we got to move the spread. It's like, listen, man, listen. At the end of the day, those just weren't our birds. If you have multiple flocks doing the same thing, sure, but one flock,
Right.
I'm not running out there for 15 minutes during perfect shooting time to go and just it all up.
I'm gonna need to see a pattern.
I'm not going to do that. I'm going to see a pattern before I do
sure.
that. We are going to change our calling. We are going to put more brush on our hide. We are going to do 8 things before we go and change the spread. Period. Unless we all decide, let's try this.
Yeah.
It's weird. If it doesn't work in the first couple of flocks, then let's change it. That's a totally different story.
Mhm.
But that is the last thing I'm going to do is change the spread.
Yeah, having a pre-plan about changing it quick.
Right.
Go, Cal.
Exactly.
All right, my third guy that you don't want to bring hunting is the guy that you just know doesn't want to work.
Ooh.
Doesn't like to work. Everyone's got buddies who are just very, very middle of the road, man. They do the bare minimum. They don't love to grind. They don't like to work on a Saturday. If you take away any of their free time at night, it's a big hassle for them. That guy is going to piss you the off when you get out there. 100%.
You're not wrong. I couldn't agree more.
No, you hit the head on the nail there.
You guys are pretty quiet right now.
That was a really good one. That was deeper than I thought of. That was good. That was solid.
It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, you're 100% right. Like, there's always one guy in the spread that. There's always one guy on the hunt that you can tell it's like a little slower back to the truck, a little slower putting decoys out.
Well, it's just like when you get there and you're setting out decoys and they're like, we're really putting out, you put out this many decoys every time. Oh, we have to grass the blinds?
I have a funny.
Our blinds are fine. Where it's like,
Yeah.
dude, I'm telling you, put more grass in your blinds.
So I have a funny story quick that I love. I played baseball with this kid for 10 plus years. I was in his wedding. I love him. One of my best buddies, Mike. Mike only really duck hunts Canada for a blast and cast for walleyes and ducks on Lake of the Woods and then the surrounding areas. And they mop them up there. They shoot the shit out of brown ducks. They do really well in the fields. It's a guided deal or semi-guided. They've done well every year they've ever gone. Mike comes to Tommy and I one day, and I'm like, yeah, we're throwing out some decoys. And, like, we threw out, a lot. We threw out, like, 7 dozen water deeks. We're hunting Thanksgiving weekend. We're going to throw out the spread on the pond north of the farm.
Yeah.
And we're going to, like, pull some birds in and just try to see what works. We're doing what? Dude, I'm used to throwing, like, 12 decoys at most. 7 dozen? I was like, yeah. And he goes, man, I'm showing up late. Screw this. He showed up 20 minutes before shooting light, wandered out and just hung out with us and hunted. And I was like, whatever, man. I'm doing it regardless. But it was funny because, like, I love Mike. Lazy mother hunting.
Mm-hmm.
I told him this during the hunt and after, and I still to this day tell him it all the time.
Yeah.
But
It's not that fun.
no, it kind of ruins the vibe.
It does ruin the vibe.
For sure.
And I think it depends on, like, if you say, like, hey, we're going to have to put a lot of work into this hunt, you want to go? And they say yes, and then they act like that, unacceptable.
Yeah.
If there's no parameters of the hunt, it's like, hey, man, let's go hunting tomorrow. And they're like, we need to get there at 2:30 to set 80 dozen decoys. I'm good. And then they don't come. Cool.
For sure.
You
and
know,
that's it.
I think it's setting parameters as to how shitty the hunt is.
Yeah.
Now, have I goaded people into hunts saying it's not going to be as bad as it is? Absolutely.
And this is what I want to use as a caveat, because the one thing I will say, I do not judge anyone who says, I don't want to do this insanely hard, difficult hunt. But if you know what you're doing, and then you go, and then you complain, now it sucks. But I'm not even talking about, like, an extreme scenario. Like, there are people you bring out that you could be in a dry field, and you have to set 100 decoys, and you get there at 5 a.m., and it's still too early, too hard. They don't, and it's not even that they're, like,
they're whiners.
They're not even whining. They're just like, I'm not doing that. I'm not putting decoys out. And you're not like,
you're never going to get invited again.
Right.
I have a quick question.
Go ahead.
You ever feel like Joey's goated you?
What? Are you obviously?
No.
I was just making sure I'm not the only one in this room who feel like he has not
I think
told
that
me.
he, like, premeditated that he was going to take me on some up hunt? No.
Do you think he
only
knew?
a couple of times has that happened, period, in my life where I'm like, this is going to suck. I'm going to invite them anyway, even though I know they don't want to do this stuff. That has happened maybe 3 times in my life. I don't know if it's happened to you too. However, has it happened where it's like stuff has happened and it's like, shit.
Yeah.
Many times.
Do you remember when we brought my buddy Zach out to your flooded timber spot?
That is one of that. What I just described is exactly what I was talking about.
We showed the landings washed out, flat. Like, we almost dumped the boat.
Dude, we were considering, we had to take a sawzall out to cut tree limbs to get through this area, and we almost took a sawzall to cut the timbers of the railroad crossing.
Yeah.
Because
you know what we should do?
And what we did is we pushed as hard as we could up onto the railroad ties so that the motorhead could get under it.
Were you with for that?
We should do a 10-minute Tuesday about, like, worst trying to hunt scenarios you ever had.
Dude, we could do that. We brought my strongest friend with that day. And Zach and Joey went, good thing we got him. Zach just went and sank the boat by 3 inches, and Joey just motors through.
Yeah. Dude, that was wild.
And then we lit Joey's boat on fire.
Yep, my boat started on fire that day. It arced.
I think it was, was it Connor?
Yeah, it was Connor, Nate, you,
throw
and Zach.
water on it. I was like, don't do that.
No, there was no discussion about it. They're like, is your motor on fire? And there's so much smoke coming off it. I was like, oh my God. And I just started throwing water on it. Gavin, the electrician, is like, don't you dare put water on an electrical fire.
We're in a boat with enough water in the bottom to kill all of us. I'm like, what are you doing? Are you trying to get us killed?
God. And I was just jet lagged from coming back from Italy. And
dude, that was without a doubt top 3.
That was
biggest shit shows I've ever been a part of.
We killed a lot of ducks that day, though.
Yeah, like
How'd you guys put that fire out?
we didn't.
It just
We
went
just
out.
killed everything.
Yeah, no,
We
I
killed
shut the
power.
motor off. Yeah.
We killed power and let it just smolder, and then we just gondola it back. And I have
coolest-
a 4-minute video of Joey on my Snapchat going, I was playing gondola music on my phone.
was
And he's just like, ra-da-da-da-da-da-da, as he's pushing the push pole. And it wasn't even a push pole, it was a tree limb that we cut off with a sawzall.
That's unreal. Unreal.
All right.